YouTube, back in the shop once again. Came up early on a Friday. Got some ceramic coating done on some headers for Ford, and not mine, but for a customer. And did a pretty good job cleaning up over here. Made the wall headers and cleared out some space because I was planning on putting the Falcon up here. But now I got Ironhead Sporty and that FXR that needs a carb. That will be getting an SNS. Just got to rehook it up, run the cables, and connect everything on that one. And just give the guy a hand getting all of that back together. And then, lo and behold, I spend a whole day cleaning up and making room. More customer work comes in, so tons of gym equipment and weight and benches, and I don't really know. I don't go to the gym, so I don't know what these things are. But there's a lot of them, and they are taking up all the space on the side I just cleaned up. And then we got more of these niches and other things. So I am completely running out of space once again, which is a good thing, I guess. Keeping busy, making money is never a bad thing. But we got the Evo over here still. The motor's still over there. I haven't brought that back yet. I cleaned up my garage too, so I'll show you guys that when we get back. Laid out a new order, so instead of the bikes being on the right hand side when you're looking in, now they're all on the left for summer mode, if you will. Give me a little bit more room and then access to my bench. So game plan for today, since I don't have room to use my lift, is to take the Falcon and run over to my buddy's shop. They're a little slow today, and I think he's got some time, so I'm gonna shoot over there this afternoon, and we're gonna slap the idler arm in on the Falcon. Hopefully it starts steering straighter instead of having a little wiggle. We'll find out. I don't know how much I'm gonna film over there just because I don't like filming stuff when I'm at somebody else's shop in the middle of trying to rush through and get something done as quick as possible. So that's probably just gonna go up on the lift, pop the idler arm out, put the new one in, just drop it back down and take it for a test ride. I will bring you guys along for that. I just don't know how much I'm gonna film on that component. It's really not too big of a deal. Pickle fork, separate it, and then the 2 bolts into the frame. And that should be pretty much it. A couple other things. If anything interesting comes up, I'll turn the camera on for that. But ideally, play some Falcon, or play with the Falcon today. Try and get that more drivable, and then just a matter of maybe clearing out some of the bench area in my garage. Once I get the bench cleared, then I can put that AOD trans on and get this Sporty motor ready to come home. And the Falcon got it warming up. Not too much going on here, but I got too much stuff that came into my shop, so I actually can't use my own lift. I called my buddy, and he's kind of slow today, so we're gonna shoot over there. I'm gonna throw the idler arm in here, put it up on the lift. You can do it on the ground, but why when it's available? So I checked with him. He said he's good to go. So we're gonna run over there, throw the idler arm in, try and get this steering straightened out a little bit, and then hopefully it'll be running a little bit better. I might try and add some extra grounds on here like I mentioned in a previous video when I was losing the wipers and some other issues that came up because of a ground. I'm fairly certain it's a ground. So I might throw another ground in and then just kind of adjust the front brakes. I haven't touched anything on the front end of this car since I bought it. The backs are all rebuilt and adjusted, but got to go through the front. So while it's up on the lift, I'll try and give it a quick shakedown. I don't know how much of that I'm going to actually film while we're over there, just because when I'm over at his shop, I just want to get all this stuff done and stop taking up a ton of time. So, box of parts from Rock Auto, box of parts from Dennis Carpenter down there. We'll see how far we get, but try and get this thing steering a little bit better so I can daily this instead of the truck for a little while. This is what we're going to try and fix. For a little while, but new idler arm, I know for sure that's the bushing that's shot, so should help quite a bit. Well, it's the next day. Falcon is back at the house. Went over to my buddy's shop yesterday. I did the idler arm on that, and it did not go as smooth as I was hoping. The parts they sent me from Rock Auto were incorrect, so ended up having to when I put the order in, I ordered just the idler arm bushing itself. Luckily, I left that in the cart. It was only a couple bucks, like $7, $8 or something. I had that one, so basically I pulled the idler arm out of the car, drove the bushing out, and then pressed the new bushing back in. Everything else after that bolted up pretty good. I broke one nut coming out because the end of the idler arm section was completely mangled, so when I pulled the bolt out, it ripped out the threads. Had to make one quick trip to the hardware store, grab the correct bolt, or nut rather, for that, then slapped it all back together, and now the Falcon's back home. I was hoping that going ahead and doing it that way, I wouldn't have to do any alignment stuff, since with just the idler, it mounts on the frame rail and then connects the linkage. I didn't change any of the adjustments on the tie rods. Unfortunately, the steering is phenomenally better, so it's tight, stays there, you're not sitting there wandering. But now that everything's tightened up, I can feel all of the slop being removed, which means that the car is tracking like crap. The alignment was not good from the get-go. You just didn't notice it because I had 3-4 inches of play, and it tracked relatively straight before. So Monday morning, I'm gonna try and call the alignment shop down the road, see if they can take care of that. They kind of specialize in some of the older stuff, so get the alignment done, and then we should be squared away on that one for now, and we can start moving on to the exhaust once I clear out some room in the shop. In other news, took all of the bikes out yesterday. I got the blue Sporty back home once again. Buddy came in town from Colorado, so he was asking about ripping around. I gave him the blue Sporty. Thing ran like a top. He had no issues with that one whatsoever. Oddly enough, my Super Glide didn't start. The battery was not happy yesterday, so got that one sitting on a charger, and I had every intention of just taking the Super Glide because it's got bags, it's easy, and it wasn't that warm yesterday, so I could have thrown a sweatshirt in the bag. Instead, we jumped on the chopper because Super Glide didn't start. Chopper fired up in 2 kick. Short little update on the Falcon. I know I didn't really do any undercar work, but in the middle of working on stuff and things not going the right way, can't always have the camera on, especially when I'm working at somebody else's shop. Finally reorganizing a little bit of stuff and making room for more stuff, more work. So spent the day this morning up at the shop getting a bunch of stuff done over there. Good productive day. Made a big old mess of oil in the back of my truck that's got to get cleaned up at some point. Unfortunately, it happens. Then got home and I've been moving bikes around here too. So I got the blue ironhead jammed in the corner that my buddy borrowed yesterday. That thing's running good. Chopper is what I was ripping around on yesterday. Got the Super Glide on the outside. This one let me down, I tell you. Old Faithful, for the first time ever, decided that the battery was too weak. Granted, I haven't ridden it in months and haven't had it on a charger, so battery was running a little on the low end and didn't want to start yesterday, so we ripped the chopper around. Had a blast anyway, and then I got the Phoenix over here. I was just giving this a once-over from the last time I rode it. It's got some issues that I didn't anticipate or I didn't tighten down fully. So I lost the clutch adjuster plug. I must not have torqued that one down all the way. This one's tight. I rechecked that, but I don't think I final torqued this one down. So I lost one of those on the road somewhere. God knows where. Maybe I'll find it, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking for it. And then on the exhaust, I lost the rear hanger bracket. So my little bracket down here, which I needed to redo anyway, since it was so close to the drum, I just wanted to clearance it a little bit more. Gonna have to make a new one of those. Not that big of a deal, not the end of the world. That will be coming pretty quick here. This bike's going to Motoblot in Chicago on Saturday the 24th, so next weekend. If anybody's around, wants to come by, we'll have the powder coating booth set up. I'll be selling some of the JTS coatings and cycle shirts, wrenching wrecked koozies, and we got the t-shirts, a bunch of the t-shirts, and lots of new stuff coming your way. I'll post videos of those once I start getting some of those, but you know, leave it to me to wait until the last minute to get everything set up and finalized, so everybody has to rush, and supposedly I should have a ton of stuff coming before that show. We'll find out. Other than that, I've been saying it forever, got the Evo Sporty back home and on the bench. We're gonna do a full teardown on this motor now because of all the issues we had. And then underneath the shift kit, I got the AOD up here. This is the one that I cracked. Slid off the jack and split the bell housing, landed right here, and it shattered the whole thing. So that's all welded up. Should work for now. I gotta pull the converter still, but that shift kit's gonna go into that transmission. Fingers crossed that overdrive is working. I've never actually run that trans, so I really don't know. But I got a Bowman shift kit in the box there, and then I have in the Falcon, I got the linkage arm for the shifter, the adjustable one from Low Car or whatever. Super expensive, didn't really want to pay it, but it will work much better with the shifter. And then in the car bin somewhere, I don't remember where I put that, under here. I got a new Hurst shifter for the Falcon with cables, so all of this will go in there. I got a Holley 650 that's going to go on there in place of the Edelbrock. And the fun stuff, nitrous stuff. So eventually we're probably going to spray that thing. That's a little ways down the line. Then on the ground I still got this rear end center section. I'm trying to get the 411 gears. But when I get the gears in the rear end, or rather when I get the transmission done, I'm going to throw this transmission in first before I do the rear end, because I want to make sure that that overdrive's working. If that overdrive is working and grabbing, then it will be full speed ahead, and we'll put the 411s or maybe even a little bit taller in here. We'll see. I'm running 389s now and have not had an overdrive, and that's pretty much a 3-speed. If I leave it in third with 389s, it's a little on the high side, but it's drivable. So there's that. Then on the Falcon, I think I mentioned in the last little bit, I did the idler arm, which worked great. Everything's super tight on the steering now, except now that the steering isn't super sloppy, I can feel how bad it's actually pulling. So ideally that's going to go to the alignment shop on Monday, and we will be off to the races, hopefully. Then on the other end, I just still got to do the headers on there. That's coming as soon as I clear out some space in the shop and have access to my lift again. I don't necessarily need the lift, but if I have one, it makes it just a lot easier. And I know even if I get the headers on, I got to fab up the rest of the exhaust anyway. So I would like to just do all of that over there because I don't have the welding stuff in this garage. Quick little update, like I said. Lots of things happening, lots of stuff going on, just a matter of prioritizing. FedEx lost the tire that's coming for the Honda, that CB350. I'm waiting on the front tire. Back tire's on and hooked up. Front tire is lost. Way to go, FedEx. So, got to figure that one out. I'm just going to order a new one, get that on its way, because that's really kind of what I'm waiting on to set that thing up as a roller. Can't put a roller together without a front tire, so there you have it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're interested in any of these or want me to prioritize any of these, shoot me a comment, let me know. I'm going to keep going back and forth between different things. Right now, I think I'm going to start with this AOD. I've never done a shift kit in one of these. I've never worked on one of these. So that'll be a learning experience. If I do anything wrong, please let me know. We'll catch you on the next one.